It's the most unethical, the most corrupt thing a president of the United States has ever done. It's essentially a way for any corporate CEO, any Saudi prince, any foreign oligarch who has business before the Trump administration to send Trump money privately, secretly, and then whisper to the Trump administration about how much money they've sent and the favor that they need.
At this point, I'd be willing to bet most people who voted for Donald Trump are starting to feel pretty scammed. Meanwhile, the rest of us who still have functioning brains have known for a while that anything and everything Donald Trump says and does is usually a scheme to enrich himself. And now Donald Trump's corruption has reached an all-time low because Trump's presidency for profit scheme has just been exposed, and believe me, it's far worse than you can imagine. How's it going, everybody? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, we'll be taking a look at Donald Trump's insane scheme in just a moment, but are you guys aware that Trump has essentially turned the White House into a circus? I mean, obviously you know this, but it's just getting worse and worse. Trump can't even keep his own clowns straight. For one, Trump's new transportation secretary seems to be a bumbling buffoon who actually has no clue what's going on.
And this comes as we're learning that the FAA halted the work of an outside panel of experts that were scrutinizing its management of air traffic control operations. I just gave you a lot to respond to there, but let's start with the pausing of that oversight board. Why was that paused?
So I'm not aware of the pausing of the oversight board.
Bruh, you're the transportation secretary. You should be aware of these things. Even worse is Donald Trump's Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent. Scott Bessent is kind of an idiot, but at the same time, I know he's a smart guy. I think that he's actually forced to be an idiot in order to keep his job with Donald Trump.
Sorry, well...
Who pays tariffs?
Sorry,
Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question is very simply, who pays tariffs, Mr. Chairman? I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
He wants to answer other questions.
well, Congressman, if the exporters, they dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they, if, I think what you're trying to get me to say...
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
Reclaiming my time. People pay tariffs, right? Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Secretary. Reclaiming my time. You clearly aren't going to answer. I'm not going to waste my time having you go,
But when Bessent isn't stumbling over his words, he's doing something even worse. Contradicting Donald Trump. Trump has been claiming for a long time that he's been talking with China, although China has denied this. Now Scott Bessent just accidentally let it slip. They're not talking to China.
I've said before, there are 18 very important trading relationships. We are currently negotiating with 17 of those trading partners. China, we have not engaged in negotiations with as of yet.
And even worse, Trump was confronted about this, and then Trump backtracked about China.
They want to meet, and they're doing no business right now. And those ships are turning around in the Pacific Ocean. Big turn, those are big ships. Those ships take about 10 miles to turn.
So first it was over 200 deals. Then it was China is definitely talking with Trump. Now it's, well, China really wants to talk to President Trump. Ooh woo. Is this a joke? Because if so, it's not funny at all. But it appears that Donald Trump is using his position of power to enrich these clowns. That's right, the moment you've been waiting for, as Donald Trump's presidency for profit scheme was just exposed. This all started with the Trump coin, Donald Trump's cryptocurrency. And don't worry, cryptocurrency is pretty complicated, but you don't even need to understand cryptocurrency to understand how this is corrupt and this is illegal.
Donald Trump's latest scheme is raising alarms, and millions of dollars. This time, it's through crypto. You don't need to understand blockchain to understand how corrupt this is. Trump is charging up to $1.5 million a plate at crypto-themed fundraisers and offering exclusive access to his inner circle for those who buy enough of his Trump meme coin. Senators are calling it out for what it is, a presidency for profit racket, and the backlash is just beginning.
one of the biggest corruption scandals in American history. While Trump wrecks the economy, he's raking in cash from shady crypto schemes. An Abu Dhabi firm announced a $2 billion investment in a foreign cryptocurrency company financed by Trump's stablecoin, transactions that he makes money off, essentially giving Donald Trump a cut of the Abu Dhabi deal. News just broke that Donald Trump's stablecoin is already the 5th largest stablecoin in the entire world. And it turns out that the foreign crypto company Binance has pleaded guilty to criminal charges after allowing money to flow into terrorists and child abusers on its platform. Its founder went to jail, and he's reportedly lobbying the Trump administration for a pardon. So today it was announced that Trump's stablecoin is now available to the broader public for trading. More and more anonymous buyers, big companies, foreign governments may soon start using his stablecoin as their shadowy bank account. Now, if this sounds crazy, it is. Anyone could try to bribe the President of the United States. And it gets worse. The Senate is voting on a bill this week called the Genius Act that would help Trump and his family make even more money off these shady deals. Look, stablecoins are kind of like banks. The 5th largest bank in the world is JP Morgan Chase. Imagine if the President of the United States owned JP Morgan Chase and foreign businesses were pouring billions of dollars into that bank in order to get the ear of the president. Senate would never greenlight that. If the Genius Act passes without some serious changes, Donald Trump will continue to make millions, maybe billions of dollars with crypto scams while he tanks our economy and makes life more expensive for everyone else. The Senate cannot let that happen.
After Elizabeth Warren's harsh words for the president, senators began weighing in with legislation to stop Trump's blatant corruption.
Today I'm introducing a piece of legislation that would ban any president of the United States, any member of Congress, from issuing a meme coin in order to get paid secretly by people who have business before the federal government. Trump's meme coin, it's the most unethical, the most corrupt thing a president of the United States has ever done. It's essentially a way for any corporate CEO, any Saudi prince, any foreign oligarch who has business before the Trump administration to send Trump money privately, secretly, and then whisper to the Trump administration about how much money they've sent and the favor that they need. This piece of legislation is called the Meme Act. I'm introducing it with Representative Sam Liccardo from California. And this is a chance for Republicans and Democrats to come together and say that none of us, no member of the executive branch, no member of Congress should be able to profit off of their position. And certainly we should not allow for these secret ways for very powerful, very rich people to be able to send money to a member of Congress or the President of the United States. This is a common sense bill, and we should just get it done.
Obviously, I'm happy to see this legislation being introduced, and of course I hope it'll pass, but even more so, it's extremely warranted. According to CNBC, 58 crypto wallets have made millions on Trump's meme coin, while 764,000 have lost money. Even worse, a new report estimates that the president's crypto holdings now represent nearly 40% of his net worth, or approximately $2.9 billion. This is why I said you don't really need to understand crypto, because you don't. This is basically just insider trading. Donald Trump has unique power because he is the president, and he also has unique personal business interests. So he's using the power of the presidency by offering these exclusive dinners in the White House and whatnot to get people to invest in his coin. Even worse, this allows other companies to basically buy Donald Trump's favor. It's already happening.
An international trucking logistics company, Freight Technologies, just announced plans to buy up to $20 million of Trump's crypto coin. Why? According to their CEO, it's, quote, an effective way to advocate for free trade between the United States and Mexico. Translation, we're buying access to Trump. It's not even subtle. Let's rewind. 3 days before Trump took office, he launched a crypto meme coin, essentially allowing him to monetize the presidency. This coin allows anyone in the world, foreign governments, billionaire oligarchs, and now international companies, to invest in Trump anonymously. And last month, his team launched a contest. The top 220 coin holders get a private dinner with Donald Trump, and the top 25 coin holders, a VIP tour of the White House and a private reception. So if you're a company that wants the ear of the president, you can just buy his coin, get an invite to the White House, and pitch your case directly to the president.
I think it's been summed up very nicely. This is one of the biggest and most blatant displays of corruption that we've ever seen. It's not even done in secret. It's out, it's loud, it's proud, and there is no hiding it. Donald Trump has no shame, and he clearly has no interest in truly making America great again. He only wants to make his own wallet great again.